Hello everybody, it's me Phuong Linh here, and today I'm going to talk about snow avalanches, like how they appear, what caused them, and like how we could try to not get caught in an avalanche. 1. How does snow transform from individual snowflakes into layers that can eventually create an avalanche? Well, snow, just like one snowstorm, can't cause an avalanche. An avalanche is when a very thick layer of snow that has settled in a mountain just like doesn't stick on that mountain anymore and then just like flows down all over. And then like there are several reasons that would cause the thick layer of snow to not stick on the mountain anymore and then crack. But like this layer could be like a combination of like 3 snowstorms, and like it's like a really thick layer with like 3 or 4 small layers with like very old snow, and then like some ice crystals, and then like it is a very thick layer of snow, some like a layer that not one snowstorm cannot make. Why do some snow layers bond strongly while others remain weak and unstable? Well, between some layers then there are like crystals that could like keep them together, and for like the newer layers then they won't actually have formed ice crystals like yet, so they won't stick together as good. And like another thing is that like it will depend on like the snow, whether or not it's like very wet or it's dry, or like yeah, it will also depend on the snow. What role do weather conditions play in increasing avalanche risk? Weather conditions could also like increase the risk of actually like happening an avalanche, but like there are some like weather conditions like storms or rain or even another snowstorm. It can actually cause an avalanche to start, but it's not like always. How can a single skier or snowboarder trigger a massive avalanche? Well, when a skier just like skis down a mountain, then they would like accidentally cause some cracks on that like mountain, and then an avalanche would just start because of that single crack. It could just widen, and then like a whole avalanche would just like appear out of that crack. Oh my gosh, why did my phone just fall down? I can't put it back. Okay. Why are avalanches often difficult to predict with complete accuracy? Well, because sometimes we can't like actually know when or like how an avalanche could just like start, because maybe we could predict that, oh my gosh, there's rain, but it's not actually like always when rain appears then an avalanche would, so it's not that easy to predict an avalanche. How do avalanche forecasters assess the stability of mountain slopes? Well, I'm not so sure. That would depend on like the things that they use, or like the way that they try to like the way that they use to try to forecast if an avalanche would come. But I think that mostly they would try to test like the snow, and then the layers, and then if an avalanche is just like forecasted, then sometimes they would just try to like stop other people from going there, and then they would just like create that avalanche like on purpose. Why is time so critical what should someone do immediately if they realize they are caught in an avalanche? Well, the first thing that they will do is that, well, not to get caught in that avalanche. Like whatever they could do to like not go to a place which could happen an avalanche. But when you are actually caught in one, then at that moment, like at that precise moment, you can't actually do anything. But maybe before you go somewhere that has like a risk of like happening an avalanche, then you could just like bring the things that are needed to help you survive in the avalanche. And like there are several kits that could help you survive like longer, or like try to wait for other people to rescue you in an avalanche. Why is time so critical when rescuing avalanche victims? Well, I think that because it's snow and it's so heavy, and also after an avalanche just like happens, then the snow would become like stable, so the person like under the thick layer of snow couldn't just get themselves out. And also it's like really cold, it's like really heavy, and then there won't be much air, so time is like really critical. So whenever an avalanche like happens, then the rescue team like is always called like immediately. What can outdoor enthusiasts do to minimize their chances of being caught in an avalanche? Well, I've told you there are avalanche forecasts. There are so many ways to find out if there could be an avalanche or not. So if there is like a risk of like an avalanche happening, don't go there, so you will never get caught. And also, if there is like no forecast in like that precise place, or maybe if you are like scared of like some surprising things that could happen, then maybe you could like have some like information and ways of like trying to survive in an avalanche, and also bring the things that could help you survive. Well, that's all. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.